Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you the Passkey Intelligence feature of the Corbado Connect management console in more detail. Passkey Intelligence is in general our core decision and prediction engine to optimize the adoption of passkeys in a very data-driven way. However, you can even customize that together with an adoption engineer of Corbado and really fine-tune the implementation and make it individual to your users and your traffic data. I brought 5 use cases today that I want to explain in more detail so that you really understand why you need this customization maybe and what can you get out of it. The first use case is actually that you can turn on and off the allowance of hardware security keys like YubiKeys because some applications might not want that users can use them. The second one is actually that you can define the experimental behavior that the current Passkey Intelligence setting has with third-party password managers. I'll give you an example. So when we see you have stored a passkey in a third-party password manager like Bitwarden on machine 1, and then we see you trying to access an application from machine 2, we assume that Bitwarden is there available as well because it's a synced passkey. However, you could not have installed the extension. Then we try to use the Bitwarden passkey 2 times, and if we see both times failing, we assume, hey, this is a new machine where Bitwarden is not installed, so we don't offer a passkey login then a third time there. In general, it's a measure how the system can actually learn to improve the user experience, but also to get the adoption high because we constantly try to use the passkeys that you already have in place. So you can define that behavior. A third use case is actually you're on a Windows machine, which only has device-bound passkeys. You create a passkey in Chrome, you open up Firefox, and then you want to reuse this passkey. Here we apply the same behavior. We try to use this passkey twice, and if we see both times failing, we assume, hey, this might not be the same Windows machine. It might be some different computer also running on the same Windows system. And then we can also make sure, basically, with that behavior, that we don't offer a third time the login. So you would use the fallback login conveniently and then create a new passkey. Again, this is something how we can get the adoption up while not having too big influence on the user experience in a bad way. A fourth example is actually cross-device authentication, so using a QR code scanner and Bluetooth proximity check to make sure that both devices are next to each other. Some applications also don't want to use that or offer that, so we can also turn that on and off. And the last one is basically an example that many regulated industries are actually looking for. It's only allowing certain credential managers to create and use passkeys. For instance, you only want to stick to Apple iCloud Keychain or Google Password Manager and Windows Hello and don't allow any third-party password managers. You could prevent that, and the user would still be able to create a passkey on their client side and create a private key in this key store. However, the finish step would fail and they cannot use this passkey to log in then in future attempts. So in general, all these mentioned use cases, they're a great way how you can increase the passkey adoption even further, have it customized to your use case. You can also define trade-offs between getting high passkey adoption and the user experience, in particular to these experiments that I mentioned. And it's just a great way how you can get adoption in the long term up. So how do you treat that in the system? We have the Passkey Intelligence feature here on the left-hand side, and you can define rules for the login with a passkey and also for the append with a passkey. If you want to create a new rule, you either create it from scratch, it's a blank new rule, or you can duplicate an existing one. This is what I'm doing right now. And then in here, you would be able to define certain rules. For instance, we have a first rule here where we treat certain devices that don't have a passkey or Bluetooth support in a certain way. So you need Bluetooth for cross-device authentication. And if there's no Bluetooth available, we basically would not even try to start a cross-device authentication. You can also define certain blacklisted users that they would get a different screen. You can see that there's in here another rule where we have something for the security key in place, and you can define as many different rules as you want to really get all these aforementioned use cases in place. When you have created this rule, you just need to have it in place, and this is basically it. And then the last step is to activate it, and now this rule set would then apply to your either login or append. So to sum it up again, Passkey Intelligence, a great feature, how you can customize your intelligence and how you then can improve the user experience and ultimately also the passkey adoption.